God-level duplication system. Chapter 131. Pill fire. A weak warmth flowed through his body. Lin Xuan felt that his alchemy talent had increased a little. After that, he waited for a while. Not long after, two old men wearing alchemist robes walked out of a door in front of him. One of them was wearing black clothes, and the other was wearing gray clothes. Their chests were filled with gray pill tripod and 3 pentagram stars. They were spiritual rank, top-grade alchemists. The old man in black held a list of names, and after looking around the scene, he said in a clear voice, "I am Sun Jingyun, the spiritual rank top-grade alchemist of the Apothecary Guild. I am in charge of the assessment for mortal rank alchemists. Those who want to take the test of mortal rank alchemists, follow me." Sun Jingyun's eye swept across the register in his hand, then he turned around and walked through the door. However, his footsteps suddenly halted and his brows furrowed. He turned around, and with a slightly angry expression, he shouted coldly, "Who is Lin Xuan? You came here to take the mortal rank advanced pill refiner test at the age of 16, aren't you just messing around? The Apothecary Guild is not a place for you to mess around." As soon as he finished speaking, the eyes of everyone on the scene turned to Lin Xuan. Lin Xuan walked out of the crowd, came to Sun Jingyun, and cupped his fists. "Senior Sun, I am Lin Xuan. However, I am not here to play. I am indeed here to take the test. Please rest assured." At the same time, Sun Jingyun's attribute panel appeared in front of him. Besides his cultivation base, he also had a superior grade alchemy talent. However, the other treasures he had were not as good as Zhang Chen's. However, this alchemy talent was exactly what he needed. Immediately, his mind moved. 30,000 energy points were consumed. Duplication successful. You have obtained the superior grade alchemy talent. When Sun Jingyun heard this, his expression became a little better. However, his brows were still tightly furrowed. He wanted to say something else but was stopped by another gray-clothed old man beside him. The gray-clothed old man said it with a light laugh. "Just give him a chance. I don't think he's joking. These are just a few sets of ingredients for concocting pills. The Apothecary Guild can take them out." This gray-robed old man's name was Zhang Kun. Lin Xuan had seen his attribute panel before. His attribute panel was similar to Sun Jingyun's, and his superior grade alchemy talent was also copied by Lin Xuan. Alright. After hearing what Zhang Kun said, Sun Jingyun didn't say anything else. "All of you, follow me." After that, Sun Jingyun led the people who were about to take part in the examination into the main gate. Li Yue and Liu were stopped outside. They were not qualified to enter. After they entered the door, they saw an even wider space. There were over 10 pill furnaces over a meter tall here. On the table beside them, there were all kinds of medicinal herbs and a piece of white paper. Go and choose a random spot to check the ingredients, the pill furnace, and the pill formula. If you have any questions, you can ask them at any time. Sun Jingyun ordered Lin Xuan, and a dozen others came up and each picked a pill furnace. Lin Xuan stood behind a pill furnace on the right side and picked up a piece of white paper from the table to look at it. This was the pill formula. "Top grade rank 3 pill, chi returning pill," Lin Xuan muttered in a deep voice. He looked at the pill formula in his hand. In an instant, he started analyzing it at an extremely fast speed. A familiar feeling surged into his heart. This is the advantage of a high-level alchemy talent. Lin Xuan muttered in his heart. A look of surprise flashed across his eyes. He had never personally concocted a pill before. However, when he held the pill formula in his hand, he felt an indescribable familiarity. The other alchemists would need to spend a large amount of time, refining it countless times in order to have such a feeling. The gap between them was so great that it was simply shocking. It looks like my idea is correct. The most important thing is to replicate talent. Lin Xuan thought to himself. It's actually chi returning pill. Among top-grade rank 3 medicinal pills, the difficulty of refining a chi returning pill is not small. I reckon that I'm going to fail again this time. The complaining voices of the disciples could be heard from all directions. Lin Xuan saw this, and a smile appeared on his face. After that, he quickly absorbed the basic knowledge of alchemy and started to check it out. Pill furnace, ingredients, and pill formula. Soon, He finished checking and found that there were no problems with these 3 items. Under normal circumstances, there wouldn't be any problems. Lin Xuan just wanted to be safe. After a while, Sun Jingyun saw that no one asked any questions and said, "Since there are no problems, then you can start the test. You all are refining the qi returning pill. Here are 3 sets of materials. Each of you has 3 chances. As long as you succeed once and refine 3 pills, you will pass the examination. As for the quality of the pills, there are no requirements." As soon as he finished speaking, everyone began to refine the qi returning pill. Those who did not have the potential to become Earth-ranked alchemists did not have the pill fire. They needed to use fire essence carbon and other materials to refine the fire essence carbon. Soon everyone began to light the fire essence carbon and heat up the pill furnace. They baked the medicinal ingredients and refined their essence. Everyone began to refine pills according to the steps. Only Lin Xuan was left standing on the spot. He had no intention of making a move at all. Why hasn't Lin Xuan started yet? He's only 16 years old. He's too young. How could he concoct a top-grade rank 3 pill? It's very likely. A few experienced middle-aged alchemists were paying attention to Lin Xuan. They started discussing in low voices. There was a trace of disdain in their voices. Sun Jingyun frowned when he saw this. Could it be that Lin Xuan really came here to play? After the examination ended, he would punish him, and then chase him out. Not everyone could come to the Apothecary Guild. Soon, more than 10 minutes had passed. The fastest alchemist on the scene had reached the last step. As expected, Lin Xuan quietly looked at the steps of their concoction. He gently nodded his head and revealed a trace of a smile on his face. This was his first time refining, so he wanted to first see the refining process of the others. But when he saw this, he discovered that this was about the same as what he had expected. He could begin running. After that, Lin Xuan started concocting the pill. In the next moment, a golden flame appeared in his palm. This flame was the pill fire. He had duplicated the spiritual rank alchemy talent, and absorbed it before it appeared in his danchan. The pill fire was a flame that was truly suitable for alchemists to concoct pills. It could also continuously increase its power along with the advancement of an alchemist. The moment the pill fire appeared, a wave of heat spread out in all directions. The temperature of the entire spatial zone rose rapidly. This is the pill fire. Isn't it a pill fire that only those with Earth-ranked alchemist potential can possess? Could it be that Lin Xuan is really a genius in alchemy? He is a top genius in alchemy. The crowd began to discuss amongst themselves, causing an uproar. Everyone looked at Lin Xuan in disbelief. Chapter 132. His movements were exceptionally smooth. One should know that the pill fire was a flame exclusive to alchemists, and it was the most suitable flame for concocting pills. The meaning it represented was not ordinary. Only those at the spiritual essence stage and above could use their spiritual essence to ignite the pill fire within the danchan. After an alchemist reached the earth rank, they could also condense the pill fire. There was another possibility. A person with a high enough alchemy talent could naturally form a pill fire. They would automatically form a pillar fire within the danchan in advance. It was obvious that Lin Xuan was not an earth-ranked alchemist. He was only on the condensation spin stage, far from reaching the spiritual essence stage. Since he could release the pill fire, there was only one possibility left. When they thought of this, everyone on the scene was shocked. Their eyes turned into disbelief, respect, admiration, and other expressions as they looked at Lin Xuan. They kept praising him. They changed their attitude. This was because he was able to form a pill fire before he became an earth-ranked alchemist, or even a spiritual essence stage. This meant that his alchemy talent was extremely high, and he would definitely become an earth-ranked alchemist in the future. He might even be able to achieve a higher level of achievement. They naturally wouldn't dare offend a top alchemist genius like him. A few of them, who had ridiculed Lin Xuan before, didn't dare look at him. They were afraid that Lin Xuan would hate them. The rest of the staff, including Sun Jingyun and Zhang Kun, were also stunned by this scene. They looked at the pill fire in Lin Xuan's hand, and their eyes widened in disbelief. As spiritual rank first-class alchemists, they naturally had a better understanding of pill Dao and pill fire compared to those alchemists who were taking the examination. They were even more shocked than those people. The two of them remembered that the association had a detailed description of the pill fire. If the pill fire was born ahead of time, it meant that the person had the potential to reach the rank of an alchemist on Earth, at least. The earlier the pill fire appeared, the more terrifying the person's potential would be. Lin Xuan was only 16 years old, but he had already formed the pill fire. One could imagine the extent of Lin Xuan's potential. Thinking of this, both of their hearts couldn't help but tremble. They were extremely shocked. Even in the Apothecary Guild branch of Wind Cloud City, there was no one who was more talented than Lin Xuan. Furthermore, both of them could sense that Lin Xuan's pill fire's purity was terrifyingly high. Previously, they were fortunate enough to see the process of a few Earth-ranked alchemists refining medicinal pills in the association. But they faintly felt that the purity of the few Earth-ranked alchemist pill fire seemed to be inferior to the pill fire in Lin Xuan's hands. The higher the purity of the pill fire, the better its effects would be when refining medicinal pills. Similarly, this also showed that the potential of an alchemist was higher. All of these displayed the scariness of Lin Xuan's alchemy talent. Both of them couldn't help but suck in a breath of frigid air. They looked at each other and saw endless shock in each other's eyes. At this moment, they knew that they had discovered a top alchemist genius. He might be one of the top geniuses in the entire branch guild. The two of them were extremely shocked. At the same time, they were also incredibly happy. There were related rules in the Apothecary Guild long ago. Those who found a pill refining genius would be rewarded accordingly. The higher the degree of genius, the more bountiful the reward would be. If Lin Xuan was discovered by them, what kind of generous reward would they receive? They didn't dare to imagine. Although the reward wasn't likely to help them break through to the Earth-ranked alchemist, their cultivation base and pill Dao could still be improved. In the guild, there was a high chance that their status would be improved. Both of their hearts were filled with excitement. They looked at Lin Xuan with burning eyes. They had made up their minds. After the examination ended, they would leave Lin Xuan behind and inform the guild leader or vice-guild leader. On the other side, Lin Xuan noticed this. But he did not care. Instead, he was happy about it. If he could attract the higher-ranked alchemists in the guild, he would be able to replicate them once again. This was something greatly beneficial to him. After that, Lin Xuan began his first pill refinement. In the next moment, the pill fire in his hand turned into a small fish and entered the pill furnace. The pill furnace quickly heated up and the temperature was high enough. Then he threw several herbs on the table into the pill furnace. Clumps of flames wrapped around the herbs, and the essence of the herbs was extracted. There are so many herbs refined together, but it's still so stable. Lin Xuan is amazing. So, this is a top alchemy genius. He's really too strong. It can't be helped. He is a natural alchemist. I really envy him. Upon seeing this, the crowd began to discuss among themselves. In the next moment, an explosion could be heard. Everyone looked over and saw that a middle-aged apothecary's pill furnace had exploded. The middle-aged apothecary wore a bitter smile on his face. His attention was fully focused on the process of Lin Xuan concocting the pill. In the end, he accidentally failed. Only now did the crowd recall that they were here to take part in the examination. They were also here to concoct the pill. They hurriedly suppressed the shock in their hearts, and once again began to concentrate on refining medicinal pills. When Sun Jingyun and Zhang Kun saw this scene, the smiles on their faces gradually disappeared. They discovered that Lin Xuan's refining process was exceptionally smooth, as if it were as smooth as flowing water. They felt that Lin Xuan's alchemy talent was much higher than theirs. Although they did not want to admit that Lin Xuan was stronger than them, this was the truth. That was why they had placed their attention on Lin Xuan. They had forgotten that they also wanted to concoct pills. Lin Xuan was only 16 years old, but his cultivation base had already reached the condensation spin stage. Even his pill Dao skill had surpassed that of two old alchemists who had been concocting pill Dao for decades. His strength was really too strong. Sun Jingyun and Zhang Kun were extremely shocked in their hearts. But Lin Xuan still did not know about these things. He was concentrating on refining the qi returning pill. Although this was his first time concocting that, he realized that concocting that was actually so simple. Even though he closed his eyes and casually refined them, he still felt that he could succeed with a 100% success rate. This was the advantage of having alchemy talent. Lin Xuan sighed with emotion in his heart. However, his hands didn't stop moving. Grilling the herbs, purifying the essence, removing the impurities, and condensing them, he smoothly completed these steps. Only a few minutes passed. He finished it. Then he tossed the pill lightly. 3 pearl-like medicinal pills flew out and landed on the jade plate on the table, producing a crisp sound. A faint fragrance wafted out. The medicinal pill was successfully refined. On the other side, the middle-aged martial artist who had already reached the last step of condensing the pill before Lin Xuan started refining also refined the medicinal pill at this time. Chapter 133. Triple Striped Vitality Replenishment Pill. He refined the medicinal pill so quickly. It's only been a few minutes. Isn't it a little too fast? Is this the strength of a top pill refinement genius? When everyone heard the crisp sound and faint fragrance, their eyes began to focus on Lin Xuan. When everyone saw the 3 round pills on the jade plate beside Lin Xuan, their faces revealed a shocked expression. Everyone began to discuss amongst themselves. In such a brief period of time, ordinary disciples could at most complete the second step of extracting the essence. But Lin Xuan had succeeded in forming a pill in one go. Along with a fragrant scent, he had already successfully refined the pill. With such a fast concoction speed, even a spiritual rank alchemist couldn't compare to him, right? Lin Xuan was simply a top pill refinement genius. Everyone was shocked. Sun Jingyun and Zhang Kun both had shocked expressions on their faces. This scene had also exceeded their expectations. They had already stepped into the pill Dao for dozens of years, and they had refined the qi returning pill countless times. However, they had never seen such a fast concoction speed. They were even somewhat envious of Lin Xuan's alchemy talent. After that, they walked towards Lin Xuan. "Fellow Lin, can I have a look at the quality of your pill?" Sun Jingyun said it with a smile. The current him was in stark contrast to his earlier cold attitude. When everyone saw this, a bitter smile appeared on their faces. However, they knew in their hearts that it was Lin Xuan who had revealed his alchemy talent, which caused Sun Jingyun's attitude to change drastically. In Wind Cloud City, except for a few spiritual essence stage and earth-ranked alchemist warriors, Sun Jingyun was the one with the highest status. Therefore, it was normal for him to treat a warrior coldly. Only a top alchemy genius like Lin Xuan could do this. It was worth it for Sun Jingyun to treat him like this. "Senior Sun, please take a look." Lin Xuan then handed the jade plate to Sun Jingyun. After Sun Jingyun took the jade plate, a strong pill fragrance assailed his nose. Sun Jingyun became even more curious about the quality of these few qi returning pill. Zhang Kun also walked over. Judging from the fragrance of the medicinal pills, the 3 qi returning pills that Lin Xuan refined had clearly succeeded. According to the rules of the examination, as long as there were 3 pills formed, the quality of the medicinal pills would not be needed. Lin Xuan had already passed the examination. However, they were very curious in their hearts. They wanted to see what kind of pill Lin Xuan, who was a top alchemy genius, could refine. Sun Jingyun's hand moved slightly, and 3 round, jade-like qi returning pills began to roll within the jade plate. After Sun Jingyun looked for a while, he discovered that the 3 qi returning pills were densely covered with pill patterns that were like clouds. Sun Jingyun and Zhang Kun were instantly stunned. Their faces revealed expressions of disbelief. Sun Jingyun said, in surprise, "Third pattern qi returning pill. All 3 of them are third pattern qi returning pills. How is this possible?" As soon as his voice faded, the entire scene fell into silence. Everyone's eyes were focused on Lin Xuan, and their faces were filled with shock. After they recovered from their shock, everyone cried out in alarm. The atmosphere on the field instantly became noisy. 3 pattern pills. Is this true? Senior Sun and Senior Zhang said it out loud. How could it be fake? Third pattern qi returning pill is extremely difficult to refine. Besides, I didn't mishear what I said just now. It seems like all 3 of them are third pattern, right? All 3 of them are third pattern. This is amazing. How did he do it? Everyone was discussing amongst themselves. They all looked at Lin Xuan with admiration. Even Sun Jingyun and Zhang Kun were looking at Lin Xuan in shock. They had never thought that not only had Lin Xuan concocted pills in such a brief period of time, but he had also refined every single pill to the level of the third pattern. The quality of each pill was divided into 4 grades. The pills could be no pattern, first pattern, second pattern, and the highest third pattern. No pattern pills were the most common pills. At the same time, their value was the lowest. Pills with first pattern pills were of excellent quality. The difficulty of forming the pill increased several times and its value also increased several times. The 2 pattern pill was even more outstanding than the first pattern pill. The third pattern of pills was called perfect quality. Its refining difficulty was the greatest. Even if a person refined it hundreds or thousands of times, they might not even be able to obtain one. Its value was also the highest. Although the chi returning pill was only a high-grade mortal pill, even a spiritual rank top-grade alchemist had to refine over 100 of them before being able to obtain a 3-pattern pill by chance. The chances of an earth-ranked alchemist obtaining a 3-pattern pill would be much higher. Each time they refined 10 pills, they would be able to obtain a few 3-pattern pill. However, there was no absolute possibility of success. As for Lin Xuan, he was only 16 years old, and his cultivation base had reached the condensation spin stage level 3. This meant that he spent most of his time on martial arts. Therefore, he didn't spend much time on the pill Dao. Not only was Lin Xuan's speed amazingly fast, but he was also refining the 3-pattern pill. Even Earth-ranked alchemists might not be able to do such a thing. Everyone present, including Sun Jingyun and Zhang Kun, were shocked. At this moment, everyone was trembling with fear. They couldn't think anymore. Because this was simply too shocking. This was far beyond their imagination. They couldn't accept it. After a few breaths, they gradually recovered. However, the shock in their eyes did not decrease at all. Sun Jingyun and Zhang Kun also looked at Lin Xuan with complicated expressions. Their hearts were filled with emotion. They had never thought that Lin Xuan would be able to do something that neither of them had been able to do for dozens of years. Even though both of them had regained their rationality, they still found it hard to bear. However, they still didn't believe that this was Lin Xuan's strength. Because even an Earth-ranked alchemist couldn't refine the mortal rank 3-pattern pill every time. But Lin Xuan was able to do it. That was too abnormal. This had broken their worldview for so many years. They were naturally unwilling to believe it. They all thought it was luck. Even if the scene before them proved Lin Xuan's strength, they still couldn't believe it. However, even if it was Lin Xuan's luck, it also proved his talent. He wasn't any weaker than them. He might even be much stronger than them. Chapter 134. Continue the test. Senior son, how's the chi returning pill I refined this time? At this time, Lin Xuan's indifferent voice sounded very good. This is perfect. Sun Jingyun and Zhang Kun replied with smiles on their faces. They no longer looked at Lin Xuan with respect for their juniors. Instead, they looked at Lin Xuan with respect and reverence from their peers. Because, in terms of the pill Dao, although Lin Xuan was still a young man, he was not weaker than them. He might even be slightly better than them. They naturally couldn't look at Lin Xuan with their old eyes anymore. 3 sets of pills are made from 1 set of ingredients, and all of them are third pattern. Your result is excellent. Sun Jingyun announced it with a loud voice. Lin Xuan, congratulations on passing the test. From now on, you are a mortal rank advanced pill refiner. The rest of the people who were still refining pills looked at Lin Xuan and sighed with envy. However, they could only envy him. After all, Lin Xuan refined the medicinal pill under the watchful eyes of everyone. He relied on his own true ability. They did not have such ability, so they could only practice more. Thank you, senior son. Lin Xuan replied. Lin Xuan paused for a second and continued. Senior son, I still want to continue taking the spiritual rank first-class alchemist badge. I will have to trouble senior son. Just as he finished speaking, there was another wave of commotion. He just completed the mortal rank advanced pill refiner test, and he's going to take part in the spiritual rank first-class alchemist test. Isn't this a huge leap? That's right. The difficulty of the spiritual rank alchemist examination had far exceeded that of a mortal rank alchemist. Not to mention, it is the highest spiritual rank, first-class alchemist. However, if it were a top genius alchemist like Lin Xuan, it wouldn't be impossible. What you said makes sense. Everyone discussed it in low voices. They all looked at Lin Xuan in surprise. However, after Lin Xuan revealed his strength, although some people questioned him, no one dared to ridicule him anymore. When Sun Jingyun heard what Lin Xuan said, his expression froze. Then he revealed a bitter smile. He nodded and said, "With your superb alchemy talent, you are indeed qualified to take the spiritual rank first-class alchemist examination. The examination in the spiritual rank examination zone should not have ended yet, you still have time." Judging from Lin Xuan's performance in refining the qi returning pill, he knew that Lin Xuan's pill Dao skill was not any weaker than theirs. He should be at least a spiritual rank, first-class alchemist. However, when he heard that Lin Xuan was going to take part in the examination, not long after that, Lin Xuan would most likely become a spiritual rank first-class alchemist who was on par with them. Sun Jingyun and Zhang Kun also had mixed feelings in their hearts. However, Lin Xuan's pill Da's potential was extremely high. He had far surpassed them. They didn't dare offend Lin Xuan. On the contrary, they had to try their best to build a good relationship with him. They would not delay any longer. Immediately, Sun Jingyun said, "Zhang Kun, take a look at the examination here first. I will bring fellow Lin to the spiritual rank assessment area to explain the situation. I will be back soon. You can go." Zhang Kun nodded. "Let's go." After that, Sun Jingyun placed the 3 qi returning pills into a jade bottle and said to Lin Xuan. The apothecary guild supplied the ingredients, but the finished product belonged to the apothecary guild. Lin Xuan looked at it silently, but he didn't say anything. After that, Lin Xuan followed Sun Jingyun and left through a large door behind the spatial zone. Only then did the crowd slowly calm their minds and start refining medicinal pills. The inner palace of the apothecary guild had set up layers of traps. This place was more than 10 times bigger than the outside world. When Lin Xuan followed Sun Jingyun, he could feel the vastness of this place. He thought to himself. When they passed by different spaces, he could see alchemists from time to time. Lin Xuan did not let them go either. He copied all of their skills. Not long after, Sun Jingyun brought him to a spatial zone that was several times wider than the earlier one. There were also 10 pill furnaces behind this space. In front of the pill furnaces stood 2 old men and several deacons from the surrounding guilds. This is the spiritual rank assessment area. Sun Jingyun introduced Lin Xuan in a deep voice, then walked towards the 2 old men. Lin Xuan followed him quietly and nodded slightly. He knew without Sun Jingyun's introduction. Because, behind them, there were only 2 people refining medicinal pills. One of them was the spiritual rank intermediate alchemist, Mo Ruan, whom he had met at the entrance of the association. She was a pill Dao genius. She must be undergoing the spiritual rank first-class alchemist examination. The other person was a slightly older, middle-aged man. Lin Xuan understood that this was the place for the examination. The 2 old men in charge of the examination had a silver pill tripod and a pentagram on their chests. Clearly, they were Earth-rank low-grade alchemists. Lin Xuan was somewhat familiar with these 2 old men. One of them was Master Ren Yuan, who had come to solve the problem outside the door. The other man's facial features were somewhat similar to Mo Ruan's. He might be Mo Ruan's grandfather, Master Mo. His attribute panel also appeared in front of Lin Xuan in an instant. Looking at this attribute panel, Lin Xuan's expression changed slightly. Master Mo was similar to Master Ren Yuan. He naturally couldn't let Master Mo go. When he was only 10 meters away from them. Consumed 100,000 energy points, duplication successful, obtained spirit grade alchemy talent. Consumed 100,000 energy points, duplicated successfully, and obtained spirit grade cultivation talent. In the blink of an eye, he had duplicated the 2 treasures that he had taken a fancy to. He was thinking that there was still a pill refinement test going on here. There were a lot of people here, and the aura was complicated. In addition, his current grade of talent was not low, so his actions would not be discovered by others. Thus, he at once chose to use it. Congratulations. Host's alchemy talent has improved. Congratulations. The host's cultivation talent has improved. A warm current flowed through his body. Lin Xuan could feel that there was a substantial change in his body, and his mind became clearer. As expected, it's still not enough to upgrade. Lin Xuan muttered in his heart. After that, he did not care anymore and looked at Mo Ruin, who was refining the medicinal pill not far away. He watched the process of her refining. Then, he instantly memorized and familiarized himself with the comprehension. He felt that this process was that simple. Regardless of whether it's the pill Dao or the martial path, the higher your talent, the better. Lin Xuan sighed in his heart, but his eyes were filled with joy. His current talent in the Dao of alchemy had merged with 3 spirit grades, and there were also many superior grade, top grade, and other lower grades. He was already immensely powerful. Although he hadn't reached the profound grade, which was a higher level 1, he was still one of the top warriors in the spirit grade. At least, he could easily become a spiritual rank first-class alchemist and earn enough cultivation resources. On the other side, Sun Jingyun also explained the situation to Master Ren Yuan and Master Mo. "Is what you said true?" Master Mo asked. His voice was trembling. It could be seen that he was extremely shocked. "What I said is absolutely true, not the slightest bit false. I brought the evidence." After saying that, Sun Jingyun handed over a jade bottle. Chapter 135. Competition. The jade bottle had the 3 chi returning pills that Lin Xuan had refined earlier. Master Ren Yuan received it and looked at it. Master Mo also looked over. Immediately, both of them could not help but exclaim. "It's actually true. All 3 of them are 3 cloud patterns. They still carry a warm aura. Clearly, they just came out of the furnace not long ago." The 2 masters were very shocked. They looked at Lin Xuan at the same time and ignored Sun Jingyun. "Hello, Master Ren Yuan, Master Mo." Lin Xuan was neither servile nor overbearing. "Fellow Lin, were you the one who refined these 3 chi returning pills?" Master Ren Yuan asked. His eyes were filled with surprise. "These pills are indeed concocted by me. Can I continue to take part in the spiritual rank top grade alchemist examination?" Lin Xuan replied. The 2 Grand Masters were stunned. Their pupils dilated, and their eyes were filled with shock. Although they had heard Sun Jingyun talk about this matter before, they were still very shocked at this moment. These 3 pills were the highest quality 3rd pattern chi returning pills. The chi returning pill was only a rank 3 medicinal pill. They could easily refine the chi returning pill. They could also refine the 3rd pattern chi returning pill. But this depended on luck. For pills below rank 3, a part of the ingredients could only produce 3 pills at most. However, they could not refine 3 of the highest quality 3rd pattern chi returning pills in one go. But Lin Xuan, a newbie, did it. How could they not be shocked? Even though they were Earth-ranked alchemists, and had seen a lot of so-called alchemy geniuses at this moment, they were also shocked by Lin Xuan's alchemy talent. However, just like Sun Jingyun, they felt that this was because of Lin Xuan's good luck and not his strength. After all, if this was really Lin Xuan's strength, then Lin Xuan's alchemy talent would be too terrifying. Even the guild leader couldn't compare to him. Before they had evidence, they still didn't want to believe it. But even if it was luck, it also proved Lin Xuan's talent for pill Dao. It was highly likely that none of them could compare to him. Of course. After reacting, Master Mo replied with a faint smile. Master Ren Yuan nodded and smiled. "Fellow Lin, I didn't think that you would have such an elevated level of talent in the Dao of alchemy. I estimate that you will be able to become an Earth-ranked alchemist soon. Thank you for your praise, 2 Grandmasters. I feel very honored." Lin Xuan replied humbly. The 2 masters were about to chat with Lin Xuan again. At this moment, a loud explosion was heard. They looked towards the source of the sound. It turned out that Mo Ruin's furnace had suddenly exploded. Mo Ruin controlled the pill fire and threw the residue out of the furnace. After that, Mo Ruin looked at Lin Xuan with resentment and unwillingness. "You actually distracted me, and now the furnace exploded." When she heard Master Ren Yuan's words, she was distracted and did not manage to control the fire well. Mo Ruin attributed the reason to Lin Xuan. Lin Xuan sneered and did not say anything else. Refining pills was an extremely delicate task. She needed to put all of her attention into it. Mo Ruin could not do this, which led to her failure. And she actually pushed the responsibility onto him. This was really laughable. Shut up. Refining pills required one to be focused and serious, abandoning the interference of the outside world. Your distractions caused your pill refinement to fail, and you still want to shirk responsibility? Have you forgotten what I taught you previously? Quickly apologize to fellow Lin. Master Mo quickly shouted. All kinds of evidence had already shown that Lin Xuan's alchemy talent was extremely high. Even he might not be as good as Lin Xuan. He was naturally unwilling to offend Lin Xuan. He also did not want his granddaughter to provoke Lin Xuan. Mo Ruan pouted and looked at Lin Xuan with dissatisfaction. She knew that this was her fault, but what made her very unhappy was that this was the first time her grandfather angrily rebuked her for the sake of a peer. However, sensing her grandfather's stern gaze, Mo Ruan still apologized in a deep voice. Her voice was incredibly soft. After that, Mo Ruan looked at Lin Xuan and provoked him. Lin Xuan, do you want to take part in the spiritual rank first-class alchemist examination? Why don't we compete and see whose results are better? Do you have the courage? Unfortunately, Mo Ruan was focused on alchemy and did not hear the conversation on the stage. It was only when she heard the word Earth-ranked alchemist that her mind was disturbed, causing the furnace to explode. Otherwise, she would not dare to rashly propose a competition. Very good. It has been a long time since the Apothecary Guild had such a competition. Fellow Lin, you can give it a try. Master Ren Yuan and Master Mo heard him. Their eyes swept across Lin Xuan and Mo Ruan, and they advised. They looked at each other and revealed a meaningful smile. Even though they had evidence brought by Sun Jingyun and Lin Xuan had personally admitted it, this already showed that Lin Xuan's talent in alchemy was exceptionally good. But they had not seen it with their own eyes, so they still had some doubts in their hearts. A duel might be able to stimulate Lin Xuan's competitive spirit, allowing him to display even more strength. They could confirm this. After all, although Lin Xuan's talent was particularly good, he was only a 16-year-old youth. He was currently in a stage of youthful vigor. In addition, they could use this competition to improve the relationship between Lin Xuan and Mo Ruan. A man and a woman, their ages were similar. They were both alchemy geniuses. If they could be together, it would be a good thing. When Lin Xuan heard this, his expression remained indifferent. Sure. Since Mo Ruan wanted to compete, he would also go with her. It just so happened that he could show some strength and attract the guild's higher management over. At that time, he would be able to copy skills and increase his strength, talent, and potential. Seeing Lin Xuan agree, the smiles of the two masters increased. After that, Master Mo looked at Lin Xuan and said, since it is a competition, for fairness, we will refine the same pill. Yan is refining a low-ranking medicinal pill, the spirit-accumulating pill. Father Lin, you will also refine a spirit-accumulating pill, what do you think? When Lin Xuan heard this, his expression was startled. Immediately, he nodded and said, no problem. A few days ago, the first time he saw the concoction process was in the pill refining hall. He saw Zhang Chen concocting a rank 5 top-grade, spirit-gathering pill. He didn't expect that in just a few days, he was going to concoct a higher-grade low-rank 6 spirit-accumulating pill. As the most commonly used medicinal pill in the spirit opening stage, the difficulty of concocting a spirit-accumulating pill was much higher than a spirit-gathering pill. Lin Xuan sighed with emotion. However, he was not afraid at all. Although this was only the second time he had refined a medicinal pill, he still had the top alchemy talent in his spirit grade. He would wait and see Mo Ruan's pill concoction process, and then look at the pill formula. Then, he would be able to easily concoct the pill. This was how terrifying one's talent was. Chapter 136. It shocked everyone. After that, Master Mo sent someone to deliver the relevant materials to a table, not far from Mo Ruan's alchemy furnace. He looked at Lin Xuan and said kindly, fellow Lin, you go and check it. Okay. Lin Xuan nodded and walked over. He checked the pill furnace, the formula, and the herbs, respectively. The refinement of spiritual rank-related medicinal pills was exceedingly difficult, and the examination conditions would also be relaxed. Here, according to the usual procedure, there were 5 sets of ingredients. Not long after, Lin Xuan finished checking. No problem. Then let's begin. Each of you has 5 sets of spirit-accumulating pill ingredients in front of you. As long as you succeed in refining one set and have 5 pills, regardless of their quality, you will be considered to have passed the test. As for the result of the test, We will judge it based on the number and quality of the pills that are formed in the end. Master Ren Yuan announced as soon as he finished speaking. Mo Ruin lowered her head and began to refine with a focused expression. Grilling the medicinal ingredients, refining the essence, removing the impurities, and condensing it, she followed each step and calmly carried it out. Her movements were exceptionally smooth. Clearly, she had refined it many times before. But Lin Xuan did not make a move. Instead, he stood on the spot nonchalantly and quietly watched Mo Ruin's refining process. He instantly memorized Mo Ruin's refining process in his heart. Why hasn't he made a move yet? Could it be that he has never refined before and is learning the refining process from Yan? In the distance, Master Ren Yuan, Master Mo, and the rest of the staff had puzzled expressions when they saw this. However, they did not disturb him. Very quickly, Mo Ruin's first batch of ingredient refinement processes was about to end. Mo Ruin divided the essence that was condensed into a solid body into 5 parts, separately wrapping it with pill fire, roasting it, and polishing it into a pill. Seeing this, Lin Xuan shook his head slightly. 1. A spiritual rank alchemist could concoct a pill from rank 4 to rank 6. However, different ingredients from mortal rank and spiritual rank could be used to concoct 10 pills. The reason why this rule was set was because the number of spiritual rank ingredients supplied was higher and their grades were also higher. The essence extracted from a part of the ingredients was also rich in medicinal properties and was far from what a mortal could compare with. The rule told that 10 of them must be formed into a pill. This was done in order to fully use the medicinal properties of the pill. At the same time, it was also to keep a balance. Mo Ruin only refined 5 pills from one set of ingredients. Although it reduced the difficulty, it also wasted a lot of medicinal properties. Furthermore, it broke the original balance. As expected. Not long after. Among the 5 pills, one of them suddenly exploded and turned into ashes. Mo Ruin could only continue roasting and polishing the remaining 4 pills. Seeing this, Lin Xuan no longer paid attention to her actions. He lowered his head and started refining. He had already studied it for a while. Furthermore, he had seen the pill formula before, and he even had a supreme alchemy talent. He seemed awfully familiar with the refinement of this spirit accumulating pill. He could even guarantee a 100% success rate. Of course, it was impossible for him to completely form a third pattern. After all, his alchemy talent was only at the spirit grade, and his level wasn't high enough yet. Master Mo and Master Ren Yuan, who were not far away, saw this and their spirits were lifted. They carefully saw Lin Xuan's movements. They wanted to see Lin Xuan's pill Dao skill with their own eyes. Lin Xuan's movements were exceptionally smooth, even though he was also roasting medicinal ingredients, extracting the essence, removing impurities, and performing other conventional steps. His movements were not the slightest bit sluggish, as if he had already mastered the refining process of the spirit accumulating pill to the extreme. His actions gave people a pleasing feeling. Is he really refining pills? Is it that simple? What a smooth refining process. Everyone present was stunned. They had never seen such a refining process before. It actually gave people a kind of elegant beauty. It was as if he wasn't refining pills, but was instead creating a piece of art. Master Mo and Master Ren Yuan also looked at each other. They could see the unconcealable shock in each other's eyes. Even if they were 2 Earth-ranked alchemist warriors, they might not be able to match Lin Xuan. As for Lin Xuan, he was only 16 years old. He had just learned about the pill Dao, and it had only been a brief time since he started concocting the pill. Lin Xuan already had this kind of strength. It could be seen that his alchemy talent was very terrifying. Master Mo and Master Ren Yuan were both deeply shocked by Lin Xuan's alchemy talent. But Lin Xuan was unmoved. He focused on refining medicinal pills. Not long later, he was about to complete the refinement. With a thought, Lin Xuan divided the medicinal essence and solid body into 10 parts. They were separately wrapped in 10 balls of pill fire, roasted, and polished into medicinal pills. Lin Xuan's alchemy talent had fused with 4 great spirit grades and was already at the peak of the spirit grade. The power of the pill fire far exceeded Mo Ruin's. Very quickly, he had already completed this last step. The pill fire trembled slightly and threw out the 10 spirit accumulating pills that had already been successfully refined. They accurately landed on the jade plate on the table beside him. The clear clinking sound of jade beads colliding was emitted. A delicate fragrance spread out. Only then did the people on the scene come back to their senses. They looked at the 10 pills on the jade plate in Lin Xuan's hand and were shocked once again. He succeeded so quickly. This is too fast. If it were me, I would only be able to complete the second step by now. Is this the peak pill, Dao Genius? The staff members exclaimed, and Master Mo and Master Ren Yuan were equally shocked. Lin Xuan's concoction speed had once again exceeded their expectations. At this moment, a crisp sound could be heard from the other side. It was Mo Ruin. Mo Ruin had just successfully refined the first ingredient. Mo Ruin looked at the 4 spirit accumulating pills rolling on the jade plate in her hand and revealed a smile. Originally, although she had tried many times before, it was all a failure. This was the first time she had successfully formed 4 at once. It should have been the competition this time that stimulated her potential. Mo Ruin nodded slightly, and her eyes were filled with satisfaction. Immediately after, she recovered her cold and arrogant expression and looked towards Lin Xuan. She wanted to see how far Lin Xuan was from her. However, when her gaze landed on Lin Xuan, especially the jade plate in Lin Xuan's hand, her expression froze, and she stood on the spot in a daze. How is this possible? Mo Ruin was stunned, and she couldn't help but mutter. She suspected that she was crazy and hallucinating. Lin Xuan stood there with a calm expression. On the jade plate in his hand were 10 round, spirit accumulating pill. Although she was quite far away from him, she could not tell the quality of the medicinal pill. However, she could see the color of the medicinal pill. Those medicinal pills were clearly finished products. He had successfully refined them. This time, she had broken through to an unprecedented level, and she had achieved an unprecedented result. She had refined 4 low-rank 6 spirit accumulating pills with 1 set of ingredients. As for Lin Xuan, he was a few years younger than her. He had successfully refined a medicinal pill in such a brief period of time. Furthermore, he succeeded in refining a total of 10 medicinal pills. This was the highest number of pills formed from a set of ingredients. This scene caused her, a self-proclaimed alchemy genius, to not dare to believe it. Chapter 137. Very good grades. Yan, you have also completed the first set of ingredients. There are 4 pills. Not bad. At this time, Master Mo's voice sounded. After Master Mo heard the voice, he saw the 4 spirit accumulating pills on Mo Ruin's jade plate and smiled as he praised her. Mo Ruin also came back to her senses when she heard this. She took a deep breath and forcefully suppressed the shock in her heart to calm herself down. The way she looked at Lin Xuan was overly complicated. After hearing her grandfather's praise, Mo Ruin forced a smile. If it were any other time, her results would be considered fairly good, or even very outstanding. But now, compared to Lin Xuan on the other side, her results seem very ordinary. At this time, Master Ren Yuan also reacted. He looked at the 2 of them and said, "The 2 of you have already completed the first set of ingredients. There are still 4 sets left. Do you still want to continue refining?" When Lin Xuan heard this, he shook his head and said, "No need. This result should be enough for me to pass the test, right?" He really did not want to continue. Lin Xuan knew that, from the expressions of the 2 masters, his performance this time was outstanding. He should restrain himself. After all, his strength was not enough. If someone were to investigate his secrets, it would be dangerous. As for obtaining the energy points, it would be better to wait until he returned to the sect. Now that he had the identity of a top genius in martial Dao, it was already very dazzling. If he had the identity of a top genius in the pill Dao, he wouldn't be able to bear it. He didn't have a powerful background, and everything depended on his own strength. As for whether he could invite the guild leader, that was fine. In any case, his current alchemy talent was more than enough for him to earn condensation spin stage and spirit opening stage cultivation resources. On the other side, Mo Ruin said in a deep voice, "I still need to refine it, but I will use this material to take part in the written test." Her expression was downcast, and she did not look as arrogant and cold as before. After seeing the strength of Lin Xuan's pill Dao, there was nothing for her to be proud of in comparison. However, she still wanted to see the quality of Lin Xuan's 10 pills. Although she knew that she would definitely lose, she was still curious and wanted to find out more about it. Sure. Master Ren Yuan nodded and said it with a smile. Fellow Lin, Yan, bring over all the spirit accumulating pill you refined. Immediately, Lin Xuan and Mo Ruan carried the jade plate and walked over. Let's take a look at Yan's first. He didn't want to give Mo Ruan too much of a blow. Master Ren Yuan nodded. Lin Xuan would not object either. The eyes of everyone on the scene focused on the jade plate in Mo Ruan's hand. They saw 4 round medicinal pills emitting a sweet fragrance and heat rolling within the jade plate. 3 no patterns and 1 first pattern, not bad. Master Ren Yuan was praised. According to the rules of the guild, 1 no pattern is equal to 2 no patterns. In other words, you have successfully refined 5 gambling pills. Yan, congratulations on passing the examination and becoming a spiritual rank top-grade alchemist. You don't have to continue refining. Master Mo was incredibly happy. His granddaughter had tried so many times and finally succeeded. He was happy for her. When Mo Ruan heard this, her eyes also revealed a look of surprise. But very quickly, she realized that she was not as happy as she had imagined. She couldn't help but look towards Lin Xuan. Lin Xuan's results were so excellent, and he was even younger than her by 2 years. After comparing them, the joy in her heart also faded by more than half. Let's take a look at fellow Lin. After a while, Master Ren Yuan's voice sounded. Everyone's eyes once again focused on the jade plate in Lin Xuan's hand. Instantly, a medicinal fragrance that far exceeded Mo Ruan's medicinal pill was transmitted. The few of them only felt their spirits tremble. They were very shocked in their hearts. Other things aside, just this fragrance alone was enough to tell that Lin Xuan's results far surpassed Mo Ruan's. Regardless of whether it was the number of pills formed, or the quality, when Lin Xuan heard this, his hand moved slightly and the 10 jade beads within the jade plate began to roll in all directions, making it convenient for everyone to see. The surrounding few people's eyes also landed on the rolling spirit accumulating pill. These are the 3rd pattern. 1 third pattern, 3 second patterns, and 6 first patterns, all cloud pattern pill. How is this possible? Instantly, everyone on the scene couldn't help but cry out in shock. Their eyes were wide open and their faces were filled with disbelief. The difficulty of refining a cloud-patterned pill was already much greater than that of refining a no-pattern medicinal pill. Not to mention that the entire cauldron was filled with cloud patterns. Even Earth-ranked alchemists would find it exceedingly difficult to do it like this, right? Moreover, there were not only first-pattern medicinal pills inside, there were also a few 2-pattern pill. There was even a 3-pattern pill. The refining difficulty of the 3-pattern pill increased by more than 10 times. Such a scene, how could they dare to believe it? In an instant, a few of them fell into a daze. Their brains were unable to react. After a few breaths, they finally came back to their senses. Instantly, they couldn't help but suck in a breath of frigid air. When they looked at Lin Xuan again, their eyes turned into endless shock. Even Master Ren Yuan and Master Mo were shocked. Because the result given by Lin Xuan was really too amazing. Even if the two of them attacked, it would be exceedingly difficult for them to do so well. In fact, it was basically impossible for them to do so well. As for Lin Xuan, as a 16-year-old youth, he succeeded in an extremely brief period of time. All of these things showed that Lin Xuan had extraordinary talent in the Tao of alchemy. His strength had already far exceeded their imagination. How could this not make them extremely shocked? On the other side, Mo Ruan was also stunned. She stared at the 10 spirit accumulating pills on the jade plate in Lin Xuan's hand. Her eyes widened, and she was extremely shocked. She also never thought that Lin Xuan's results would be so high. Not only did he concoct 10 pills, but these pills were also cloud-patterned pills. Among them, there was even a 3-pattern pill. Lin Xuan had far surpassed her. Their strengths could not be compared at all. After Mo Ruan came back to her senses, a bitter smile appeared in her eyes. In this competition, she lost completely. She remembered that she had proudly proposed this competition and had deliberately provoked Lin Xuan. At this moment, she couldn't help but want to find a crack in the door and crawl in. She was too embarrassed. She looked at Lin Xuan again. Lin Xuan had a handsome face and an extraordinary temperament. His martial arts and alchemy talents were both extraordinary. Lin Xuan's good points all met her requirements. When Mo Ruan thought of these, her eyes flashed with extraordinary splendor. Her face could not help but have a trace of redness. Unfortunately, Lin Xuan did not notice Mo Ruan's reaction. What he paid attention to be the changes in the expressions of Master Ren Yuan and Master Mo. When he saw this scene, his heart also skipped a beat. Could it be that his performance this time was too outstanding? This was only the second time. He refined pills, and he was only doing his best. Lin Xuan laughed bitterly in his heart. However, he quickly calmed down. There were too many coincidences and luck elements in concocting pills. As long as he performed a little worse next time, he would be treated as lucky this time, thus dispelling the worries of the masters. In addition, he was only a spiritual rank alchemist. In the end, he wasn't a true expert. He didn't want to attract too much attention. Chapter 138. The president was shocked. As expected, he's too weak. Lin Xuan sighed in his heart. If his strength was strong enough, why would he be afraid of these things? He still had to focus on increasing his strength. As for the pill Dao, it was only used to support his martial arts. Lin Xuan thought to himself. These were the decisions he had made a long time ago. After that, Lin Xuan said, Master Mo, Master Ren Yuan, how was my result? As soon as his voice faded, everyone on the scene came back to their senses. Very good, very outstanding. Fellow Lin, you have won this match. Master Mo and Master Ren Yuan both praised him. They looked at Lin Xuan with complicated expressions. The shock in their hearts didn't reduce by much. They had never thought that, even though they had spent decades studying the pill Dao, it was highly likely that they had already been surpassed by this young man in front of them. They couldn't bear it either. Fellow Lin, Yan, congratulations on becoming spiritual rank first-class alchemists. After that, Master Ren Yuan announced loudly. When Lin Xuan heard this, he slightly nodded his head and revealed a trace of a smile. Now, his first goal in coming to the Apothecary Guild had been achieved. Next, it was time for him to concoct pills and earn a huge amount of cultivation resources. Mo Ruan also had a smile on her face. After so many tests, she had finally succeeded. She also felt as if a heavy burden had been lifted off her shoulders. However, her gaze quickly returned to Lin Xuan. Her eyes flashed with a strange light. After a pause, Master Ren Yuan continued. Fellow Lin, your talent in alchemy absolutely far surpasses that of us old fellows. I wonder if you have considered joining our Apothecary Guild. Our Apothecary Guild has always been very generous to pill Dao genius who is like you. I wonder, what is my obligation to join the Apothecary Guild? I'm decided to cultivate. The pill Dao is only used to help me in my cultivation. I won't spend too much time on it. Lin Xuan replied in a deep voice. He did not agree to it at once. You are determined to cultivate? Support with the pill Dao? If that's the case, what a pity. When the crowd heard this, they were stunned. None of them had the time to react. He had such high talent in the Dao of alchemy. Why did he need to focus on the martial arts? Among those of the same rank, alchemists had a much higher status than ordinary martial artists. Instantly, a wave of sighs of regret appeared on the scene. Mo Ruan also felt as if she had been struck by lightning. She stood in a daze on the spot, a trace of paleness appearing on her face. The joy in her heart also quickly retreated. Master Ren Yuan's heart once again shook when he heard this. Hearing Lin Xuan's words, it clearly showed that he did not spend much time on the pill Dao. However, he had such attainments. It could even be seen how terrifying his talent in the Dao of alchemy was. Master Mo also had some understanding. The two Grand Masters were fiercely shocked once again in their hearts. However, what gave them a headache was, he had such high talent in alchemy that he was actually resolute in martial arts. The pill Dao was only used to help him in this aspect. They also did not know what to say. However, Master Ren Yuan was the first to accept this fact and said with a smile, with your talent, your martial arts and pill Dao don't conflict with each other. You can still join our Apothecary Guild. But don't worry, the Apothecary Guild is still very lenient with its internal members. There are also very few responsibilities. There is a corresponding mission list in the guild. You can accept the mission and obtain the reward after completing it. If you don't stay in the guild every day and don't receive missions for an extended period of time, you basically don't have any obligation. Of course, if the guild met a crisis as a guild member, you had to unconditionally come and save the guild. This is your greatest obligation. You should be able to accept it. He had seen Lin Xuan before outside the Apothecary Guild. He had also seen Lin Xuan's strength from the Shadow Stone. He was only 16 years old, but he was already in Condensation Spin Stage Level 3. This cultivation base was unprecedented in Wind Cloud City. Not to mention after Lin Xuan attacked. With a casual palm strike, he instantly killed several peak late Condensation Spin Stage geniuses in the Wind Cloud City. Even someone as strong as him was able to fight a weaker spirit during the opening stage. Master Ren Yuan had seen countless geniuses, but he had never seen someone like Lin Xuan who could jump realms to fight. It could be seen that Lin Xuan's talent in martial arts was one of the top in the entire Kangyuan country. Compared to his talent in alchemy, his talent in martial arts was also extraordinarily strong. Even his talent in martial arts was higher than his talent in alchemy. Looking at this, he could understand Lin Xuan's thoughts about cultivating martial arts. At the same time, he was even more shocked by Lin Xuan's astonishing talent. He was a genius of both martial arts and Pill Dao. Master Ren Yuan had never heard of such a top genius before, but today he had seen it with his own eyes. A faint smile appeared on his face. I can accept it. Lin Xuan turned around and looked at Master Ren Yuan. Seeing this, Master Ren Yuan understood what Lin Xuan wanted to know. He continued. In terms of treatment, I have never been stingy with geniuses, such as buying medicinal pills, medicinal herbs, pill recipes, and so on. I will give you a lot of preferential treatment. I will also get a high-level alchemist to guide you. Fellow Lin, I do not have the right to make a decision on a genius of your level. Please wait a moment. I will send someone to invite the chairman now. It just so happens that the guild leader is still in the guild. After that, Master Ren Yuan looked at Sun Jingyun, who was beside him, and said, Sun, go and invite the guild leader. Since Lin Xuan was discovered by Sun Jingyun, he naturally would not covet the credit. He also did not care about the credit. Alright, I will go now. When Sun Jingyun heard this, his expression became joyful. He turned around and prepared to leave. At this time, a cold voice sounded. No need, I'm already here. Everyone was instantly stunned as they looked towards the source of the voice. A slender middle-aged man in a black robe walked in through the door. There was a silver pill tripod and a pentagram on his chest. Obviously, he was an Earth-rank low-grade alchemist, just like Master Mo and Master Ren Yuan. However, the pressure radiating from his body was far greater than that of Master Mo and Master Ren Yuan's. Behind him was an Earth-rank low-grade alchemist dressed in a black robe. His face had an aged expression. His aura was not as strong as that of the middle-aged man in front of him. Chairman, Vice President Zhou. Greetings, President, Vice President Zhou. When the crowd saw these two men, they were stunned. Then, they respectfully bowed to the guild leader and Vice President Zhou. Lin Xuan saw this and also bowed to them. At this moment, he already understood their identities. They were the chairman and vice chairman of the Apothecary Guild. All of you, get up. A calm voice sounded. Everyone stood up as well. Their gazes were all focused on them. Lin Xuan also looked at the president and vice president Zhou. Chapter 139. The Nominal Elder. Are they all Earth-rank low-grade alchemists? Lin Xuan looked at the chairman and vice chairman's chests, and a trace of surprise flashed across his eyes. He thought that the chairman of the Apothecary Guild would be at least a grade higher than Master Mo and Master Ren Yuan. He didn't expect that both the chairman and vice chairman would be of low Earth-rank low-grade. However, Lin Xuan soon found out. Even if they were Earth-rank low-grade alchemists, there was still a significant difference between them and the others. An Earth-rank low-grade alchemist could concoct a rank 7 pill. But rank 7 pills were also divided into low-grade, mid-grade, and top-grade pills. As long as an alchemist could concoct a low-grade pill, he would be able to pass the test. For example, he and Mo Ruin had only concocted one, low rank 6 pill before, and they had passed the spiritual rank first class alchemist examination. Therefore, even though they were both earth rank low grade alchemists, there was still a huge gap between them. It was highly likely that elders like Master Ren Yuan could only concoct low ranking pills. As for the chairman and vice chairman, they could concoct mid rank 7 or even high rank 7 pills. That was why there was such a difference in status between them. However, what Lin Xuan paid more attention to was how many treasures their attribute panel could supply him. He looked at them. Name: Chen Yu. Cultivation: 6th level of spiritual essence stage talent. Spirit grade cultivation talent, spirit grade alchemy talent, top grade strength talent, top grade speed talent, top grade saber talent, top grade violent wind attribute talent, top grade sharp gold talent, and top grade crimson fire talent, top grade earth talent, top grade green wood attribute talent. Martial arts: burning fire essence technique low rank 8, small completion, flame manipulation high rank 7, small completion, sky quake palm high rank 7, small completion, shadow wind step high rank 7, small completion concept. 35% saber intent, 50% artistic conception of fire, 50% artistic conception of wood, 30% artistic conception of wind, and 20% artistic conception of gold. Treasure: none. Lin Xuan looked at the attribute panel in the void in front of him and was shocked. The leader of the Apothecary Guild was really rich. This attribute panel was the richest attribute panel he had ever seen. He looked at Vice President Cao's attribute panel. His attribute panel was slightly inferior to the president's. His cultivation base was at the 5th level of the spiritual essence stage, much higher than Master Mo and the other elders. After that, Lin Xuan looked at his attribute panel. I still have 1.5 million energy points, that's enough. Immediately, he had an idea. I consumed 100,000 energy points. Duplicated successfully. Obtained spirit grade alchemy talent. Consumed 200,000 energy points, duplicated successfully, obtained wood burning fire essence skill, low rank 8, small completion. Consumed 100,000 energy points. Duplicated successfully. Obtained 50% fire realm. In the blink of an eye, he had duplicated all the treasures that he had taken a fancy to. Lin Xuan looked at all the treasures with a smile on his face. As for the energy points, they were gone once again, which was ignored by Lin Xuan. After absorbing these treasures, his talent, potential, and strength had once again increased by a lot. At that time, it would be quite easy for him to earn a large amount of energy points. All of this happened within a breath's time, and no one on the scene noticed it. Fellow Lin, I saw the refining process earlier. You are indeed not bad. In terms of talent, you can be considered a top genius of the Pill Dao. I am not as good as you. Chen Anlan's soft laughter could be heard. Chen Anlan looked at Lin Xuan, his eyes were full of praise and admiration. He had never thought that he would meet such a Pill Dao genius in the Apothecary Guilds today. As the leader of the Apothecary Guild in Wind Cloud City, his horizons were naturally much higher than those of these earth-ranked alchemists. He had seen countless geniuses in the Scorching Sun domain. But amongst them, Lin Xuan was one of the top. That was why he took the initiative to recruit Lin Xuan. Even though Lin Xuan was focused on martial arts, the Pill Dao could help him. But with Lin Xuan's talent in alchemy, the Pill Dao's achievements would definitely be extremely high and there would be no lack of cultivation resources. Thus, his achievements in martial arts would naturally not be low. Furthermore, even though Lin Xuan knew that his talent in alchemy was extraordinary, he was still determined to practice martial arts. It could be seen that his talent in martial arts was absolutely not ordinary as well. Like this, even if Lin Xuan was unable to completely unleash his alchemy talent, because he did not have much time in the future, he would still become an extraordinary martial arts expert of his generation. He was naturally worthy of Chen Yu's stepping forward. After all, in the end, in this world, the strong are still respected. Thank you for your praise. Lin Xuan replied, neither servile nor overbearing. Chen Yu nodded slightly and continued. Fellow Lin, I've also watched the process of you refining the spirit accumulating pill. Your Pill Dao skill is no less than that of many Earth-rank low-grade alchemists. However, you have never taken the Earth-ranked alchemist test. According to the rules of the association, you are not considered an Earth-ranked alchemist. If that's the case, you will receive the treatment of a nominal elder after you join the guild. How about it? As soon as Chen Yu finished speaking, everyone on the scene was shocked once again. Although they had seen Lin Xuan's concoction process, they also knew that Lin Xuan's pill Dao skill was extremely high. However, none of them had expected that Lin Xuan had already reached the Earth rank. Furthermore, this was said by the president himself. It was impossible to fake it. One had to know that in the guild, which Earth-ranked alchemist didn't reach 30 years of age? And Lin Xuan was only 16 years old? At Lin Xuan's age, many alchemists were still in the stage of finding medicinal herbs and memorizing medicinal knowledge. They had yet to truly start concocting pills, right? Everyone was even more shocked. Nominally an elder. Lin Xuan murmured. Chen Yu smiled and explained. The nominal elder is the elder with the name in the guild. Other than when the guild is in danger and you have to save them, you have no other obligation. The guild will not restrict your actions. At the same time, the nominal elder's status was equal to that of the other elders. However, the nominal elder's benefits are only 1/3 of the other elders. Chen Yu explained in detail, and Lin Xuan at once understood. This was not bad, and it was exactly what he wanted. He at once nodded and said, "Thank you, President. I'm very satisfied with this treatment. This is the nominal elder's token. Take it." When Chen Yu heard this, he also revealed a trace of a smile. He took out a black token with a silver lining. A pill of fire rose from his fingertip. He inscribed a few seals on the token before throwing it to Lin Xuan. Lin Xuan also received it. His eyes swept over this black token. There was a pill tripod carved on the front of the token. On the back was a nominal elder. Below it was his name, Lin Xuan. Lin Xuan also had a satisfied look in his eyes. His harvest this time had once again exceeded his expectations. Chapter 140. Mystic Raid. Ren Yuan will bring fellow Lin along for the rest of the procedures. Yes, Chairman. After Chen Yu finished giving instructions, he turned around and left. As the guild leader, Chen Yu still had many things to do, so he couldn't waste too much time here. Although Lin Xuan was a top alchemy genius, he was still young and hadn't grown up yet. The fact that he came out personally showed that he attached immense importance to Lin Xuan. After that, everyone watched the president and vice president leave. Everyone looked at Lin Xuan and sighed with emotion. No one had expected such an outcome. Lin Xuan, a young man who was not even 20 years old, had actually become an elder of the guild. This was something that had never happened before in the Apothecary Guild branch of Wind Cloud City. This was a completely new record. However, Lin Xuan was appointed by the president. They had seen Lin Xuan's pill Dao skill, so they naturally could not refute the president's decision. They were only shocked by Lin Xuan's talent once again. After a while, Master Ren Yuan stroked his beard and said with a smile, "Fellow Lin, you are now the nominal elder of the Apothecary Guild. Your status is equal to ours. In the Apothecary Guild, elders of the same level would address each other as elders. You can just call me Elder Ren. Similarly, I will also call you Elder Lin." Ren Yuan said this because he had recognized Lin Xuan's status. Lin Xuan would naturally not object. He nodded and said, "I understand, Elder Ren." Elder Ren smiled and nodded. "Let's go, Elder Lin. I'll take you to familiarize yourself with the nominal elder's procedures. On the way, I'll give you all the information and treatment about nominal elders. Then I'll have to trouble you," Lin Xuan replied. After saying that, Elder Ren looked at Elder Mo and said, "After Zhang Ye's examination ends, you will be in charge of Yan's spiritual rank first-class alchemist registration." "No problem," Elder Mo replied. After that, Elder Ren brought Lin Xuan out of the spiritual rank assessment area. Not long after, they disappeared from everyone's sight. Mo Ruan, on the other hand, was still staring blankly. "Yan, don't look anymore. They are already far away." Elder Mo's voice was heard. He sighed. He had a feeling that his daughter would not be able to stay. "Grandpa, what are you talking about?" Mo Ruan said it in a lovely voice. Elder Mo shook his head and did not say anything else. How could he not tell what Yan was thinking? However, he could clearly see Lin Xuan's attitude. Lin Xuan obviously did not like Yan. If this continued, Yan would only be sad. On the other side, Lin Xuan followed Elder Ren and familiarized himself with the relevant procedures. As an elder of the guild, Lin Xuan was already a top figure, apart from the main and deputy guild leaders. He would naturally not meet any obstacles in familiarizing himself with these procedures. He spent half an hour, completing it smoothly. A young man like Lin Xuan was able to become a nominal elder, so he naturally attracted many exclamations. Lin Xuan made use of this to obtain a lot of energy points. After the process was completed, Lin Xuan received the corresponding Black Alchemist robe and spiritual rank top grade alchemist badge, and he was registered in the register. Elder Ren, I have another request. Lin Xuan suddenly said, tell me about it. Elder Ren replied with a smile. Half an hour later, in a VIP room in the outer palace of the Apothecary Guild, a middle-aged man in embroidered clothes walked in. A handsome youth sat in the front seat. You are Pavilion Master Sun from the Essence Pill Pavilion. Yes. You are the new Elder Lin. Sun He, who was wearing a brocade robe, cupped his hands and replied. He had been invited by Elder Ren from the Apothecary Guild. Naturally, he had received the relevant information. That's right. Pavilion Master Sun, please take a seat. The handsome young man was Lin Xuan. He said with a smile, I invited you here, because I have something to discuss with you. Elder Lin, just say it. Sun He sat on a wooden chair at the side and spoke solemnly. After Sun He confirmed Lin Xuan's identity, his heart was also greatly shocked. From the information he received, he remembered that he was a nominal elder, personally appointed by the Apothecary Guild's chairman. He was at the Earth-ranked alchemist level. However, he was still so young. He was the top Pill Dao genius. He didn't dare show any neglect. Do you have any thoughts of cooperating with me? Lin Xuan continued. With your Pill Dao skills, I am happy to work with you. Sun He's eyes lit up when he heard this, and he quickly replied. Alright, but we still need to discuss this matter. Lin Xuan nodded. Half an hour later, they left the Apothecary Guild. Lin Xuan followed Sun He to the guest room of the Essence Pill Pavilion and stayed temporarily. After leaving the Drifting Cloud sect, he came to Wind Cloud City to take the alchemist test and upgrade his alchemy talent. He would concoct pills to earn cultivation resources and increase his strength. This was the decision Lin Xuan had made from the very beginning, and he had never forgotten it. This time, he had borrowed the power and influence of the Apothecary Guild to ask Elder Ren to invite Sun He, the pavilion master of the Essence Pill Pavilion, who was somewhat famous in the Wind Cloud City. They had come to an agreement about the sale of pills. The Essence Pill Pavilion would supply the ingredients, and he would refine the pills. After that, the Essence Pill Pavilion would be in charge of selling the pills. He would get 60% of the income from selling the pills. The reason he could get such a high percentage of the profits was because of the influence of the Apothecary Guild. As an elder of the association, although he was a nominal elder, his status was equal to that of an ordinary elder. Even early spiritual essence stage warriors wouldn't dare look down on him. As for Sun He, who was the master of the Essence Pill Pavilion, he was only in the late stage of the spirit opening stage. In comparison, this ratio was very normal. After that, Lin Xuan sat down, cross-legged, on the bed in the guest room. A thought passed through his mind. He chose to use the many treasures that he had copied from the vice president of the Apothecary Guild. A surge of warmth that was like a surging wave surged within his body. Lin Xuan's aura also began to grow slowly. A cold prompt sounded from time to time. Congratulations to host for breaking through to the profound grade cultivation talent. Congratulations to host for breaking through to the profound grade alchemy talent. Congratulations to host for breaking through to the 50% artistic conception of fire. Soon, half an hour had passed. Lin Xuan opened his eyes and let out a long breath. He looked at the attribute panel in the void in front of him, and joy flashed across his eyes. I have fused with so many spirit grade innate abilities, and my innate ability has finally reached the profound grade. My cultivation talent and alchemy talent have both been enhanced. The innate ability of a profound grade was not something that a spirit grade's innate ability could compare with. With the innate talent of a profound grade, it wouldn't be difficult for him to break through to the Origin Sea realm, which was above the spiritual essence stage. It could be said that the talent of a profound grade was one of the top talents in the Scorching Sun domain. Even in the entire Scorching Sun domain, this kind of talent was extremely rare. And in the Drifting Cloud sect, he didn't even know if there was such a talent. At this moment, his talent had surpassed everyone in the Drifting Cloud sect.